Hi guys. Um, let's talk about LLCs, how to formulate them. I get a lot of questions. I get a lot of inquiries. I do a lot of LLC formations, and uh, the number one question I get is how to formulate them, and it's easy. Get your paperwork, articles, corporations, your operating agreement, and file with your state and with the local probate courts and get your business license. You're going to take all those documents and do it. What a lot of people won't tell you, and people just don't know that those articles of corporations or those operating agreements are legally binding. So this is just something that people for some reason just leave out. And it's weird because you see a lot of people on social media, on the news, whatever. Man, start your LLC. Go ahead and get this thing started. And they just think, oh, just get an EIN number, go establish a certain kind of paperwork and all this stuff, and that's it. If it was that simple, everybody be doing. Just a few things that I want to point out. One, think of your corporate documents as a contract with yourself, okay, and or with your partners. And the reason why I pretty much stressing this a lot is because if you go to sell by your company or by a company, guess what rules are governing that purchase or that sale? Ding, 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 your corporate docs. When you go for audit or anything like that, or you open up different accounts, business accounts, guess what they're going to ask? For those corporate docs. And depending on the language of those docs is going to determine how are you going to be able to move in whatever business that you're trying to do. So for example, if you are trying to franchise a tea company, yes, this is tea, and you want other people to be able to buy into that company, you want to maybe put shares in there, or you might want to make it a limited liability company where you're the general partner, but you can let other people buy into it and therefore own part of the company. Obviously, those different corporate structures give you a certain level of protection and a certain level of control, right? So if you're selling shares, you want to always keep 51% of the shares because what? Keep control of it. However, when you go to raise capital, funding, things of this sort, people might want, hey, I give you $100,000 and give you 10% get 10% of the company. You hear about these things on Shark Tank all the time. And what do you think governs that? If there becomes a dispute that arises within your company, okay, somebody, an agent or a partner, start taking loans out in the company's name, then guess what? The courthouse or the judge or the defense attorney, the opposing counsel is going to pull those corporate docs and say, hey, based on the corporate docs that you have submitted, this how it operates. And I think for some reason in these recent times, I would say the last 10, 20 years, a lot of people overlook that because they're basically trying to get to the end and not realizing the reasoning for it. The reasoning for having these corporate docs on file with the local government is because of what? Disputes arise. Why? Because people buy companies. Why? People get sued. So say for example, you own a Terminex company and you have a driver that hits somebody. Of course, guess what? That lawyer is not only going to sue the driver, he's going to sue the company. And then guess what? The owner of the company. Now, typically, a LLC or any corporation is going to have some level of protection if you're operating that company as a corporation. Like, it's amazing to see a lot of people who just say, get an LLC so you can get some business credit, get an LLC so you can pay your children, get an LLC So you can put everything in your business name, and you don't have to worry about, certain type of taxes, and you get tax write-offs, things of that sort. But I'm a firm believer in doing a historical analysis or look at the history of any type of legal structure, whether that's laws, whether that is a case law, which, little law school lesson for you. Case law and statutes, or state law, or federal guidelines, yada, 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 are all totally different. What you see, what we call black letter law, typically means what are the elements of a specific crime, contract, will. Like for instance, in a lot of states, in order to have a will to be valid, you can handwrite it. The person can handwrite it and sign in their handwriting, and as long as that handwriting is validated, it can be considered a will. Or if it's notarized and signed by two people, little stuff like that. Yeah, you can go get it drafted and all this stuff. But always remember, you can always, excuse me, back up. You can always get the stuff drafted yourself. But I want to encourage you to understand the reason why you have lawyers is not because just to draft documents and just bill hours. What you're hiring is the lawyer's education and experience. A lot of times, people are inexperienced in drafting corporate documents. They lack experience in drafting wills. And when you talk about the experiences, for example, if I have over 10 years of experience of drafting documents and handling legal disputes between companies, when I sit down and do a consultation with you, I'm going to ask you pointed questions. Okay, how many people are involved? Who's putting up the capital? Who's going to have the controlling interest? What's your long-term play with this company? Is it a holding company? Is it serious LLC? What are you just creating a LLC just to say you created an LLC? And all those questions are going to determine how I tell you to formulate your LLC and what to put in those corporate docs. Because if a legal dispute arises, the court's going to ask, okay, what's the legal structure of this company at the time of this dispute has arose? And if I have 10 years experience in handling different types of arguments and different kind of issues with corporations, when I'm drafting your document, I'm going to tell you to say, hey, if I were you, I would probably make you 51% owner of a general partnership if I see that it might be some issues down the road. If I know that you want to trademark to just, you want to start an LLC so that LLC can hold a trademark, and therefore you can sell that company along with the trademark. Or you say, okay, this trademark is your personal brand, is your personal signature. Then you want to separate that trademark as a personal registry of yourself personally versus having it under the LLC. So it's a lot of things, a lot of nuances that an experienced lawyer will bring to the table. This is one of the reasons why certain lawyers charge higher than others. Me, I typically charge higher than most lawyers. If you look at my resume, you look at my education, if you look at my experiences, it's going to be way different than what another lawyer who just went, hey, graduated law school and maybe work for a big tech firm or work for a big outfit. Because, let's say if you graduated law school, passed the bar, and you go work for a big outfit, you might have just been an associate. That lawyer might have just been an associate lawyer, and they got their hands dirty, things of that sort. Whereas me, I've had a high level experience with a big outfit, a big law firm from an administrative standpoint. So my experiences and my education is going to be vastly different than what you'll see from somebody else. So my encouragement to you guys is, let's get back to the root of law. Let's get back to the root of, hey, If you want to have documents drafted, if you want to set up an LLC or some type of corporation, understand that different lawyers come with different experiences, and you want that experience because the whole purpose of a lawyer is to make sure to save your, you know what, for any foreseen circumstances that you might not be prepared for. This is Ronald Rice, man. Please follow this, like, share, all that jazz. Love you guys. Peace.